Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Yeah, buddy. Yes, it's Sunday. I know it's Sunday. It feels like every day feels like a Monday to me at this point. All right, every day is work. Every day is work. We work every day. I mean, I took yesterday off for the most part. Kind of, sort of, not really. I mean, I was still working. Okay, I was still doing things behind the scenes, but it is what it is. This is what we do. Okay, and I got something I'm going to share with y'all. I got two different things I want to share with y'all today. That I'm very, very excited about, sort of. Well, we'll talk about it. Okay, it's just one is something and another is something else. We're going to talk about those things. All right. So please do me a favor. That's before we're going to get into all of this mucky muck. So please do me a favor. Okay, before we get into everything, because I can't be on for a very long time, and I'll explain in one of those reasons you'll see, and you'll hear about it in just a minute, okay? So please do me a favor, hit that like button down below, crush a do, hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these platforms, like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, I'm on all them mugs, so make sure you hit that follow button. Follow. I can't emphasize that enough. Follow, dagnabbit. Follow on those Facebooks and all the other places, okay? The Twitch, the Kick, I'm on all of them, okay? Hit that subscribe button right here on my YouTube channel. Subscribe, mother loving scribe. Please and thank you. Subscribe. All right. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there. We got a new channel too. It's called Pascal Shorts. Go check it out. It's brand new. Literally just started today. If you can go and subscribe over there as well, I'll explain here in just a little bit. That's one of the announcements. Please go and subscribe. The link is pinned to the chat, to the bottom of the chat right now as we speak. So go over there, subscribe. That'd be greatly appreciated, okay? Also, hit that notification bell. Set it to all on all these channels so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it is random. It's whenever we get time or whenever there's anything breaking. Okay, so make sure you have that notification set to all. Hit that join button down below. Please and thank you. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out that Patreon. And of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there, so go check it out. PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys, we got to get into some things. Like I said, it's not going to be a super long show today. There are some things going on, and I'm going to explain what is going on in just a little bit. But first announcement, I just talked about it in the intro, and I'm probably going to be talking about it quite a bit throughout the course of today's show. All right. I do have a new channel, a brand new channel called Pascal Shorts. That's literally what it is. One word. Pascal Shorts. It's pinned to the bottom of the chat right now as we speak. And it's literally, you know what I've been saying for the longest time? I've been saying, hey, I need I want to put out clips, clips of things that are happening during the stream. Sometimes some really funny things are happening on the stream, so on and so forth, right? So now we are starting to put in some new we're now starting to pull clips from the show, which are basically, from 10 seconds to, 3 minutes long. It could be 10 seconds long to 3 minutes long. All right. But nonetheless, I'm very, very excited about sharing and reliving those funny moments or, pivotal moments, big breaking moments, etc. in a shorter format, because I know for a fact some people just want to get to the meat and potatoes. Some people don't want to see long, drawn out videos. Some people just want to relive a funny little moment that happens on the show, and so on and so forth. Okay, so please go over to Pascal Shorts. That's what it's called, Pascal Shorts, and check that out. Yes, thank you, Jane, for saying that. I appreciate that, Jane. Real talk. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't heard that word rad in a long time, but yes. Our Facebook page is kicking. You know what I mean? We out here popping. All right, we out here popping like a mother lover. So make sure you are following the platforms because there's a lot of content. There's a lot of information. And sometimes I don't have time to give you guys all the information that's going on in these streets that, either that are going viral or people don't really know about, so on and so forth. I'm posting articles consistently on Facebook. So make sure you're following that too, okay? Because sometimes you get a heads up about things that we are going to be discussing on the show later on and all that too. So just saying that out loud. I know it's a lot of different places to, follow or subscribe to and all that stuff. But like I said, there is a lot that's going on. There's just a lot. And these shows can be very, very long. And that's the reason why we have the Pascal Show clips and Pascal shorts, because, there are certain things that are breaking that, we're going to be that are, kind of buried within a longer stream. And, this is a way to get you guys the information the best way and the quickest way possible, especially after a live stream is over. So I just wanted to give you guys that update. Okay. I still have the Pascal Show clips. We still pumping out cuts, full on cuts from this show from live streams, over on that page. But then there's a lot of other short moments, I might throw a little funny joke here, or there might be a funny moment that happens, so on and so forth. So I want to be able to share relive those moments with you guys, because there's a lot of crazy stuff I say I didn't realize how crazy I was until I'm pretty crazy. So, yeah. So that's why the shorts page exists. Don't get it twisted. The videos where I'm just doing updates on what's going on with, the true crime stuff or any updates like that, where I'm just using my phone and talking into the camera, those kind of shorts are still staying on the Pascal Show page. These are shorts. The Pascal Shorts page is literally only from the live stream clips, clips from live streams, if that makes any sense. Okay. So please go check that out. And, that would be, dope if you can subscribe over there, support my hard work. Okay. Cause like I said, there's a lot coming up now. Part 2 of the updates. I do have another part 2 that I want to share with y'all that I'm very, very excited about. Today, I'm going to be playing golf with a whole bunch of St. Louis Cardinal players. Yeah, guys. There is a full-on event that's going on in just a few hours this is one of the reasons, because somebody said, yeah, Pascal, you say that all the time, and then you on the show for 3 hours. I ain't got time to do 3 hours today. So this is going to be a very, very short show. All right. But here's the thing. Those who like to throw shade. I see you throwing the shade. Okay. But here's the thing. John Jay, he is a Cardinals baseball player. All right. He is throwing a big charity event today. His foundation is called the J Family Foundation. It's the 4th annual charity golf event. I am going to be a part of it. I am going to be there to hang out, have a great time, and play. I don't play golf. Let me just make sure that's abundantly clear. I'm not a golfer. There's all these other people that are out here, showing up with their, I don't golf. I've played golf. Absolutely. I've played golf, but I ain't a golfer. Okay, I don't sit there and go, oh, yeah, let me get the latest. I don't even know is it Titleist? What is it? How do you pronounce that? How do you pronounce that? You know what I'm saying? How do you even pronounce Titleist? Titillating? Titleist? The brand. I don't even know the brands. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not a golfer, but it's a great opportunity for a lot of people to raise money for a really good cause and to hang out with some people and play some golf. Here's the cool part, though, okay? Here's the very cool part that I'm very excited about. you guys get to come along with me. Yes! You guys are going to be with me. So a little bit later on today, okay, this evening, I will be live down there, hanging out. We're going to be doing an IRL. Yes, guys, the bag is back. The bag is back. The bag is mother-loving back. Okay? The bag is mother. I don't know why he keeps on going crickets whenever I hit this button. But yes, so you guys will be hanging out with me. There's going to be a bunch of celebrities there, a bunch of baseball players. It's going to be a great time. Okay? So I get to go out there. There's apparently a driving, I don't even know the word is, like a driving competition. Who can drive the ball furthest or something like that. I may play it. I'm terrible. I'm not a golfer, but I don't mind looking like a fool in front of y'all. I don't mind it at all. But that is what I wanted to tell you guys. Okay, so like I said, there's a lot of things that have been that have been in the works, in the background, behind the scenes. This happens to be one of those things. There's a plenty of things that are going to be coming up here very, very soon, where we're going to be out of this room, okay, or out of this not looking like a war prisoner, okay, where we're going to go have some fun, go and do some other things, okay. And, yeah, and have a great time. Got another thing that's coming up this week as well, but I'm going to share that a little bit later. It's kind of dope. It's a good time. It's going to be a good time. Okay. Like I said, planning some things for all of us to enjoy and have a good time, because not every single show needs to be about death and destruction. Damn. That's all we talk about. Holy crap. That's all we freaking talk about. So yeah. You know, I want to bring some fun. So a little bit of variety. I've been saying that for the longest time. There's been a little bit of a break because of the move and all that. And now we are going to get things popping. So just so you know, you guys are going to be coming along with me. It's going to be around like 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Just so you guys know. I may be late due to, you know, the event starts around that time, and people don't show up on time. I will already be down there, but you get what I'm saying. You know, when things are actually on and moving, we will be live. We will be sharing and having a great damn time. Okay? So, like I said, tonight should be a fun time. Okay? And something for a good cause. Bunch of celebrities will be there. A bunch of athletes will be there. A bunch of my boys will be there as well. So we're going to be having a grand old time. And finally, I got a cameraman to hold the camera and follow me around this time. Yeah! Yeah, baby! Yeah! I'm excited. Okay? Finally, I'm going to have somebody following me around instead of me holding the damn camera myself. So I'm very, like I said, I'm excited. Okay? So that will be this evening, okay, around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, let me just say this, because I know everybody will be like, yeah, you never on time, Pascal. Shut up! Shut up! Sorry. I love you all, okay? I love you all. But here's the thing. There's a reason why I'm not going to be, like, it's going to be set for a specific time, but it may be about 15 minutes late. Maybe. Okay? Maybe. Okay? But don't get all angry if I ain't starting right on time. All right? Damn. All y'all just haters. Angry. Oh, once again, he's late. Man, stop it. Yeah. Thank you, Lisa. Rather be late than not there at all, mother lovers. Sheesh. So, very much looking forward to it. Should be a really great time. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to hop on. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to hop on, mainly to let you guys know what's going on this evening. And like I said, we got some other I got some other ideas, some other plans popping up in the near future that I cannot wait to enjoy and be a part of it, or have you guys be a part of it as well. Okay? So just letting you know. Okay? So we got to get into some things because there's a lot to talk about. So again, tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central, we will be live. We'll be hanging out, talking to people. It will not, let me just say this, it will be PG-13R, I guess. I mean, it's not like we ain't going to no strip club. I'm just saying, like, you know, whatever people say, they say. I mean, how they say it, I don't know. I have no control over it. It's IRL, all right? This is not some polished thing where I can control whatever I say, but whatever other people say, I can't. Whatever they say, they say. I'm just letting you know that that's the whole thing about IRL, right? So we're going to have a good time. Watch some people play some golf. Have some drinks, eat some hors d'oeuvres, and kick it, okay? So, and you might see some familiar faces in there. So it should be a good time. And I have a cameraman. Yeah! I don't think you understand the story of these. I don't think you understand the story of the struggle of getting a cameraman. It has been a very, very difficult time. I just want to make that abundantly clear. All right? It has been quite the journey trying to get a cameraman available for any of the stuff that I've been wanting to put together. So I'm really excited to get somebody on the camera this time. I don't have to carry it around the entire time. So I could just go do my thing, have a great time, talk to you guys, talk to the people, and kick it. Okay? So it'll be a little bit different of an IRL. Okay? It's going to be a little bit different of an IRL than what we've done in the past. Because we've done a couple IRLs. Okay? So this one will be a little bit different, and I'm looking forward to it. So make sure you hop on because after this show, that live will be already set up and scheduled, ready to go. So when we go out there, it's just banging, right? The other thing is as well, like I said, please go. It's pinned at the top, pinned to the bottom of the chat. Go over to my shorts page. Please join that. Please subscribe. Okay, help that channel get greenlit so we can start putting some. Because we will be starting tomorrow. We'll be putting out some serious content over there as well, and it's going to just keep on rolling, baby. Okay, so yes, like I said, big things in the horizon, so I'm looking forward to it. And then this coming week, I am going to be sitting down with somebody this week, a known person, celebrity, and I'm sitting down with that particular person this week. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great convo. We going to rap, and you guys are going to be able to be a part of that event as well. Okay? So, great things coming up here. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. Stories to tell and conversations to have. Just so you know, yes, IRL means in real life. So basically, it's just like a nonstop vlog. You're following somebody around, live streaming, and they're just vlogging their day, right? So we'll be vlogging my time over at this golfing event for Jay. I forgot that. I feel like a jerk. What is the name of that? Jay Family Foundation. For the Jay Family Foundation. Okay? So I'm looking forward to it. Okay? Let's see. Jake, thank you so much for the love. Good news, you didn't make the list of people getting sued. I'm not sure if you saw the list, but Don Lemon made the cut. Yeah, I saw. It was a long list. It was a very, very long list. I mean, we'll see if those people actually have. Let me just say this. We'll see if they actually have grounds to sue. It just depends on what, there's a lot of people on that list. There's a huge list. All right. It's a huge list of people. So it just depends on what they're saying. Because some people, they might be just talking crazy, and some others are just reporting the news. Or they're just saying things and they're giving their opinion. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that, as far as that list of people that are, that they're looking at. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, I'm not going out here being like, oh, they did it and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't do that. That's not how I roll. Maybe that's how other people roll, but I don't roll like that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a lot of people on that list. I was like, damn, that's a long list of people that they're going after. And you know what? Good luck to them. That's all I can say. And we'll see if they actually have grounds to actually sue those individuals. You never know. Half those mother lovers may not even get hit with nothing because all they did is ask questions and report the news. You see what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. Now, I'm not trying to defend anybody, okay, because I don't know all the content, but from the content that I've seen by some content creators, I'm like, all they're doing is reporting what's going on, and they're just asking questions. Did they do this? Did they not do this? You see what I'm saying? So, and then the other question is that list real? Like, is that list really real, or did somebody just put that together and just throw it out on the internet to try to make it look like it's the real deal? You see what I'm saying? There's so much AI crap out here, and you can pick everybody's name under the sun and then just basically say, oh, all these people are in trouble now. Look at all these people. They're all in trouble now. You know what I mean? So it just may be content for content's sake, or it could be real. I don't know anymore. At this point, there's so much crap out there. We're at a point where I don't even know which end is up. You see what I'm saying? That's how bad it is, right? But we got to get into some things, okay? Jason Lee broke that list. Interesting. Well, then it may be real. It may be real. We'll see. Like I said, it depends on if there's grounds. If there's any grounds to what they're saying, right? To what they're accusing these content creators of doing. There's some people that are just absolutely insane, and they're just going hard in the paint, right? They're going 10 toes down on one theory and one theory alone. That could get you into some serious trouble. But if you're just reporting stuff and asking questions, I don't think that's. If you're just asking questions, I don't think that's grounds for a lawsuit. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. So let us continue. Let's get into this conversation. Okay. So we do have some updates in the Perez Hilton situation, and we need to talk about that right quick. Okay. So again, Perez Hilton, if you didn't already know, he had a huge mental health breakdown live on a TikTok live stream. It was pretty scary. It was pretty heartbreaking. And of course, we all are, a lot of people are praying for his recovery, because he definitely needs that recovery. And it's not only just mental, it's also physically too, because what you saw, if you saw the Annie clips from this live stream, he's going to need some serious help as far as medically, because he used this sharp object. He was putting it all over his body. Hence the reason why he looked like he just came out of that movie Carrie, covered head to toe in blood. It was bad, right? So it looks like he's going to be looking at cosmetic surgery because of the amounts of of slashes that he put onto his body, right? It's bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad what he did. It's pretty bad. But let's take a look at this, because we do have an update here. We do have an update. So they're saying he's in serious but stable condition, and he had significant blood loss. Obviously, he had significant blood loss. If you saw how he was covered head to toe, is absolutely crazy, right? After this whole situation. So his road to recovery is going to be a lengthy one. The gossip blogger's family shared a new update with fans Saturday, noting that he remains hospitalized under the Florida's Baker Act. So he's still under that. Remember, they said that the Baker's Act only lasts for about 72 hours, and then he would be released. And it looks like that's not happening anytime soon. He may be too far gone. He may be too far gone mentally. I mean, especially he did what he did. After what he did, I don't think any parent or family member would be like, yeah, come on back home, honey. They might be like, let's give it a week. Let's make sure he's okay. Okay. And that his condition remains serious but stable. He's experienced significant blood loss and sustained additional injuries that will require surgery in the coming days. His treatment and recovery will be a long process. So the Baker Act, a.k.a. the Florida Mental Health Act, allows for temporary and involuntary detention of someone experiencing a mental health crisis, especially if it's likely the individual might pose a serious threat to themselves or others. And right there, he hit on all cylinders. Okay? All pistons firing right there. They pose as a serious threat not only to themselves, but to others. And remember, his kids fled the house. His kids were rushed out of the house moments before he had his mental health break. So what are the chances here? My theory is that he's being held longer because they're concerned about not only himself, but also the livelihood and the safety of his own kids. So he may be Baker Act longer solely because of it was bad. And if you're willing to put this, a knife anywhere on your body for a considerable amount of time, then also on top of it, you're live streaming the whole thing. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? What does that tell you? That doesn't seem like somebody who's in their right mind, concerned about their own livelihood, and then also at the same time thinking about, with all due respect, thinking about who's watching this. Anybody watching this. Kids could be watching this on TikTok. Think about that. It's not like there's an age threshold. If you got kids, 12-year-old kids, for example, watching Perez Hilton's TikToks on the daily, and they happen to follow him, and they're on TikTok, and then they open up, oh, he's live. They click on it. They're watching this whole horrific thing. He's also in his birthday suit. Let's not forget that, too. He's stark naked, covered in red, using sharp objects, and it's live. And it's for 31 to 34 minutes of this kind of content. You see what I'm saying? So again, I can see why they're holding him for a longer time. And I worry that he's going to lose custody over his kids. That's the one thing I'm really worried about. Because I feel like that's inevitable. With all due respect, I think that's inevitable. He may have to go and fight for the custody of his kids. And I hope that's not the case, but we'll see. So while Hilton's family previously noted that he's able to communicate, they clarified in the newest update that his quote-unquote communication has been extremely limited. Yeah, he's probably locked up, and he's probably not allowed or able to contact anybody from the outside world right now because they're trying to make sure his mind is right. That's just my theory. The latest statement also confirmed that Hilton's 3 children remain safe and are being cared for by immediate family, most likely the mama, most likely their grandma. Hilton's family have kept the public up to date on the celebrity blogger's condition in the days since his apparent mental health breakdown Tuesday, when he was rushed to the hospital after live streaming, which is what we're all talking about. Okay. So again, we'll see what happens here with him. They're saying that he's going to be undergoing some sort of plastic surgery because of the lacerations all over his body. I'm hoping that he gets well very, very soon. But it's a concern for everybody. This should be a concern for all of us, and it should be a reminder, a huge, hard reminder that our mental health is extremely important, and that we need to start talking to each other. I think that he's been having mental health issues for a while, and then it just suddenly snapped. And I think now that I've been hearing more stories and more information, I'm thinking that he's had this for a while. He's been having issues for a while, and then the sepsis thing happened, and that sent him over the edge, and that he was just teetering on the edge for a while. And then all ish breaks, suddenly all hell breaks loose out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And it's the camel, the straw that broke the camel's back, right? So I am really praying for him and his family, real talk. But let me pull this up here real quick. Where the hell did it go?
Family of Perez Hilton is giving an update saying the celebrity blogger will require surgery. In a statement released tonight, they say Perez's condition remains serious but stable. He experienced significant blood loss and sustained additional injuries. It went on to say, we want to confirm that Perez remains hospitalized under Florida's Baker Act. His communication has been extremely limited and confined to immediate family, medical providers, and others directly involved in his care.
I think this is really important to remember, too, that they're going to try everything they can to speak to him in a calm and speak to him and talk about normal things. You got to remember, they don't want to say anything that might trigger him. So if this was a financial situation that triggered him, which is terrible. I mean, people have had full-on mental health breakdowns, even worse, over money. This is a tale as old as time, right? But thank God nothing happened. Nothing deadly happened, and that he's being taken care of. But right now, I'm sure he's only able to talk to a few people. He may not even be allowed to talk about work. They may, experts and the people that are taking care of him are probably like, please just talk to him, just talk about regular daily things. Do not talk about work. Do not talk about money. Do not talk about finances. Do not talk about whatever it was that made him break. Just talk to him like it's a normal, everyday thing, and that you're going to see him tomorrow and you're going to bring in his favorite stuff or whatever, right? And I think that that's what's going on. It is interesting, and I know that some people are side-eyeing the fact that they're posting things on his website. He's got fans. He's got people who care. I know some people are looking at it and going doesn't this feel like they're capitalizing off of this tragedy, off of this horrific event? I mean, I guess you could see it that way, but I see it as he's got fans and they just want to know what's going on. But I get it. He's got a blog, and that's creating clicks and people going to his website, and they're posting those things. But this is how he makes his money, for what we know. I don't know if he owns properties or anything like that, right? So I can see how people are looking at it and side-eyeing how he's put, the family's using his website. They're not going to their Facebook pages, their own individual Facebook pages. They're going to Perez Hilton's website. But, I mean, he's letting people know what's going on, or his family is letting people know what's going on right now. Should we side-eye? Should we throw shade on it? I don't know. I leave that up to you guys, right?
Perez was hospitalized earlier this week after suffering a mental health crisis that was live streamed on TikTok. The incident happened at a home in Westchester on Tuesday. And if you or someone you know is in crisis, there is always help available 24 hours a day. Just call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988 to...
Yes. Obviously, 988, 988, 988, everybody. Okay? If you ever feel any type of way or you got friends, family, whatever, framly, I know some people call their friends/family framly, contact 988, okay? Do not forget to do that. Now, I got to do a little palate cleanser, okay? This just kind of popped up, so I wanted to share this because this is kind of insane. Have you seen the QVC blowout clip? Have you guys seen this clip? Have y'all seen this? Have y'all seen this clip? Okay, so this lady, I forgot what she's promoting. All right, but she talking about getting a good blowout. After a good blowout. After a good blowout. Okay, so take a look.
Show the texture and this wave pattern. Again, it looks like you went and got a blow job at your blowout at your salon. Oh my God. And it looks beautiful.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
All right, so here's what's happening.
Why is she trying to explain? Why is she trying to translate this? Come on. So a nice, I don't even know if I can say that, the whole word. But you see what I'm saying? She says, looks like you had a good blow job. Hold on.
Show the texture and this wave pattern. Again, it looks like you went and got a blow job at your blowout at your salon.
I mean, she ain't completely off, because you are, like, if you went to the salon to get a blowout, you are getting the job blown, the hair blown, and it is a job. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? So it's still kind of, she said she got a, I'm sorry. Last night, I don't know if your hair is going to look like that after a BJ. I don't know. I don't know if your hair is going to look like that after a BJ. Ladies, do you mind speaking on this? Fellas? Come on.
And it looks beautiful.
All right, so here's what's happening today.
Here's the situation. Why is she the translator now? Why is she the translator now? How is she the translator now? How is she? Here's what's happening right now. She meant to say whatever.
Looks beautiful.
All right, so here's what's happening today. We're having a huge beauty sale. Everything ships to you for free, but that goes away at the end of the day. I will remind you that this is a one-time only price where the price goes up at the end of the show.
Oh, dear Lord. She is fully... I wonder if she still has her job. I wonder if she still has her job. I mean, to say that, you know what I mean? Instead of blowout, you're saying the job of a blow. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Is that normal? We already know where her mind's at. Her husband's at work going, she said what? It's been years, honey. I'm just saying. That really happened. That really just happened. But, you know, it's oh, her husband's more than just smiling. More than just smiling. He's like, bring over that wig. Bring home that wig. You know what I mean? Crazy. Yeah, he's been blown out. He's been blown out. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. How does that even happen? How does that happen live? And I'm still like literally, does she still have her job? You know what I'm saying? Because that is a pretty, I mean, she could literally say like, yeah, it was a blow job. You know what I mean? Not a BJ, but like she went and got, you know, a blowout, looking like she got, you know what I mean? But, you know, that's how it is, you know? I just want to tell you, good people on both sides. You know? What I meant was, just saying. I had to share it. It's funny. We're just talking about something sad. I wanted to give you guys something funny. Jeez. Because we still got to go into some serious, like more serious stuff. And it kind of sucks, man. It kind of sucks. I'm just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. That's all. So we got to get into some Nolan Wells updates, okay? This is something that happened just the other day, but I did want to share this with you guys. You know, I wasn't live with you yesterday, so we do need to talk about it regardless, okay? I mean, I'm just saying, guys, when was the last time you had a good blowout? Serious conversation here. Ladies, when was the last time you had a good blowout? You know? I'm just asking questions. Her mouth definitely slipped, Oya. You know? You know what? Think about it. Ladies and germs, think about it for a second. You'd be like, oh, it's been a while. Or it's like, it was yesterday, mother. Whatever. Just saying. Clearly, she needs to go take care of some stuff. She's missing something. She needs something. You know? I'm just saying, okay? Wait, people getting their feelings about blowouts? Wait, T, what? Buck up, chat. This topic gets a lot of people in their feelings. Who's in their feelings about blowouts? Is there something going on? Is there somebody angry because they're not getting blown out? Their back blown out? I'm just saying. Thank you so much. You wouldn't got that wig from me. Wow. Wait, that's weird. Whoa. Why did you get that from me, JLK? Ain't no way. There's no blowout over here, man. Okay. That's gonna be return to sender real quick. Okay. I kid. But seriously, think about it for a second. Just think about it. It's Sunday. You can think leisurely for a second, because tomorrow it's gonna be business time. And that sounded, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I meant tomorrow, because you know we're dealing with Keefe D in the Tupac murder trial. So you know, we're gonna be back to business as usual tomorrow. Okay, so today you can think about things leisurely and go, hey, you know, when was the last time I had a blowout? You know, I'm just saying. Ladies, if the guys are like, honey, I took out the trash without you asking me to. I did the dishes too. I put the kids to bed early without you asking. how about a little blowout? He won't say that. He won't say that last part, but he will say a whole bunch of things. He'll be like, I even cook dinner, and I never do, but I cooked everything that you like. AKA, how about a little blowout? Just pick up that wig for me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like that. Just saying. But anyway, we got to get into this conversation on Nolan Wells. Yeah. It's been a minute since we talked. Oh, it's been a couple days. Well, 24 hours. But, there really hasn't been much going on with the Nolan Wells case. It's just kind of been, it just kind of went into just a low hum. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But now it's time to get serious. Okay? Now we got to get into a serious conversation. All right? That was just a callback to the blowout. Okay? Just so you know. So let's get into the conversation about Nolan Wells. Okay? So now we got new information about the friends returning to Horn Island. Why does it feel like the title to like a movie or a book, like an old book, something that Kenneth Branagh would probably direct, Return to Horn Island. They're back to Horn Island again. Why? I don't know why they're going there. I'm gonna keep it real. Why are they going back? Can anybody explain that to me? It doesn't make sense to me. Is this optics? Listen. Okay, let me just say this really quick, because I don't want my name on the list. I'm kidding. Don't care if it's on the list or not. I'm not saying or doing anything that's illegal or would be grounds to be sued. But I'm asking the question, why would they have to go back? What's the purpose of them going back to Horn Island? I Can Prep 2 just said, they live there. They. Oh, my God. No. Oh, my God, no. But here's the thing. No, they don't live there. Okay? There's no way they live there. No, there's no civilization over there. They just go there, they get drunk, and then they sail back over there. That's what they usually use Horn Island for. There's no civilization over there. There's none. It's just sand and grass. That's all it is. Sand and vegetation. But let's move on though. Okay? Let's just get back into the question that I had. Why are they returning? Just so that they can be there? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why go back out there if they want nothing to do with this and they didn't do anything wrong and, they didn't do anything, right? Why go back? Is this just their way of trying to, I don't know, maybe create content so that the people who are supporting them and sending money to the Give, Send, Go, they can raise more money on that Give, Send, Go? I'm just asking questions. I'm sorry. I'm just asking questions. Don't get mad at me for just asking questions. Let me just say this too. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not sitting here saying that the friends did this. I know some of y'all are very angry about me saying that. There's no proof that we know of so far that they've done anything. So there's audio that's very suspicious. Yes, it is. But there's no proof of them doing any wrong yet, right? So why are they going back? It just doesn't seem to make any sense. I Can Prep to excuse. They don't live on the island, but it is a local spot. You expect people to go back, even friends of Nolan. That's very true. I was just joking when you said they live there. I was just throwing a joke. I'm sorry, I can prep, okay? You're fantastic. You're wonderful. Hopefully the maple syrup is flowing like maple syrup in Canada. But I apologize. It was just a joke. It was just a joke. But you're right. They would go back just on the regular for fun. But here's the thing, though. Why would they go back now? You see what I'm saying? Of all things, this is not a holiday. This is not, a holiday time or anything like that, right? It's not holiday time, everybody. This is just regular schmegular. They're just going back. For what reason? It just doesn't make any sense to me, okay? So let's take a look at this. Again, for them who haven't done anything, why are they going back? Is it just for optics? Or are they really getting down to the realness of what's going on and what happened to Nolan Wells, right? So more than a month after the body of Nolan Wells was found along the shoreline of a Mississippi barrier island, two friends believed to have traveled out to Horn Island with Wells returned there in an effort to investigate the case. Why? They weren't even investigating the case before. And why aren't they trying to work alongside? And I already know some people are going to be flooding the comments here in a second, but why wouldn't they at least go and turn over to Christine and Elmore and be like, hey, we want to work with you guys. We want to work in tandem. We have investigators. Look, you realize how ridiculous this is, right? You have two separate investigations going on at the same doggone time. You got the Wansley family, Nolan Wells' parents doing their own investigation, and you got the kids doing their own investigation too. Why don't they just Captain Planet that ish and call it a day? But that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen at all. So now you got an investigation going on. Oh, this is such a mess. This is such a mess. So Warren Hudson and Jax have gone over there. Jax Patalo, okay, have returned, okay, who are believed to have been with Wells on the 4th of July, the day he went missing, went to the island Friday afternoon to investigate the layout and dynamic. Their attorneys said, or they told CNN. It's unclear how the group intended to handle its unofficial investigation on the island. That's what I'd like to know too. You got a whole other group of people doing their own set of investigations. Why? They might as well start live streaming this ish at this point. Become YouTube streamers, for crying out loud. It's almost like the Nancy Guthrie case. When everybody and their mama was out there live streaming, going where, here we are walking through the desert looking for another latex glove, right? So I don't get why they're doing this. Remember, it's unclear how the group intended to handle this unofficial investigation on the island. And then what are they going to do with that information that they discover? Are they going to give it to Nolan Wells' family? Because they're conducting their own investigation as well. What does this mean? What is this saying to the general public? Is it saying, yes, we believe something sinister happened to our friend, Nolan, but no, it wasn't us? What is it that the kids believe now? Because right now, the kids, let's keep it real. The kids are sitting there saying, hey, we had nothing to do with this. He wanted to stay. He was a grown man. He made that decision on his own. He wanted to stick around with Katie, and he left and he stayed with Katie. We left, and he came up dead on the island. That has nothing to do with us. But now they're investigating. They're running their own independent investigation on a case that's already being investigated into. Some people be looking at this going, oh, they're just trying to raise more money. This is just optics to raise more money. I could see why some people are going to say that. Some others will be like, hey, they're just tired of people looking at them sideways and saying that they did nothing to stop him from dying. I think it's very strange that they're going back. I find it weird. And I think that this is extremely messy. All right, let's take a look at this. It was a very emotional afternoon for Warren and Jax, the attorney said in a statement. Attorneys initially told CNN a third friend, Morgan Seymour, was also planning to return to the island. Why? Why? Now. You're going back now. Why didn't you do that a couple weeks ago? Why now? With a whole other what? Do you realize how upside down and inside out this is? It's unclear if Hudson, Patalo, and Seymour were with Wells that day or if they had been interviewed by police. Hold on. It's unclear if they've even been interviewed by police. But in July, Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter told the Sun Herald that 3 friends who traveled with Wells on that boat to Horn Island had been interviewed in depth. We're proud to stand with and fight for 3 completely innocent young men. This is what the attorney said the attorneys said in a joint statement. We will be focused solely on the truth, which is that these innocent young men had nothing whatsoever to do with the tragic demise of Nolan Wells. So CNN reached out to the sheriff's department for reaction to the trip to Horn Island by the men. No one has been arrested or charged in the case. The Mississippi State Examiner's Office is conducting the official autopsy and have been awaiting toxicology tests to come back. Jackson County Coroner Bruce Lind said those results can take weeks. There were no immediate obvious signs of foul play or trauma on Wells' body. This is what Lind, the coroner, Jackson County coroner, Bruce Lind, told CNN in July. But due to the certain circumstances, we asked for an autopsy at the state medical examiner's office so that they could do the full autopsy and be able to tell if there was any foul play or trauma. So here's the thing. We already know about this state medical examiner's report, and that's being held. That's being withheld by everybody. Okay? All right? They're being withheld. Everything is being withheld as far as the state medical examiner's reports, autopsy reports. So we don't know anything. Why would they hold on to that if it was not foul play? I don't know. But I know for sure, if it was not foul play, I feel like they'd be running to the press with that information so that they can get everybody to shut the hell up. You see what I'm saying? Everybody with their Nolan Wells theories and this conspiracy theories. Damn near we're almost at the place of ancient aliens at this point. Okay? That's how crazy the conspiracy theories have been. You'd think that they would put out that information if it wasn't foul play. Autopsy results show that it was a tragic accident. They would be running to the public to letting them know about this so that the harassment and the side-eyeing would finally stop. But they didn't. So that's weird. For weeks, investigators have been searching for answers after Wells disappeared during the trip with his high school friends to the popular Barrier Island, which, according to the National Park Service, has no shelter, no facilities, and no communications. Like I said, no civilization, just some vegetation and sand, right? So, Oya Scott, thank you so much for the comment. Thank you so much for the super chat. Why don't they release the granddad's C-toe call? You know, that's a good question, too. I know a lot of people are starting to side-eye the grand. You know what's crazy? It's crazy the speculations, right? It'll be the look-see-loo at Warren. It'll be the look-see-loos at Wyatt. Then suddenly it's Bart. And everyone's like, oh, Bart knew her and Bart did it. And he's the one, you could hear him choking out in the background of that audio, that dispatch. You could tell And then now they're going, oh, wait a second, grandpa now. How did the grandpa know? Way before they even contacted him. I don't know. I honestly do not know. But I know that people are going with that and going ham. And now they're side-eyeing the grandpa. I don't know, guys. There's no proof of the grandpa being anywhere on the island, anywhere near the boat during the time that they were out there kicking it. Grandpa apparently was on the mainland doing grandpa things. I don't know. I don't know. Learning how to play pickleball or something, reading a good book. You see what I'm saying? So again, I think it's I'm not sitting here saying that we shouldn't be looking under every single stone, but I think the theories are getting a little wild. They're getting a little desperate, just to be completely honest. But like I said, if somebody has some shocking proof that is that shows proof positive that granddad had something to do with it, then I'd like to see that proof. But right now, I haven't seen any of that. Here's the other thing too. And we are all allowed to have our own theories. Okay, we're all independent thinkers. Think independently for yourself, right? And if you think that something sinister had something, if there was something sinister going on and it had to do with the grandpa, I just want to see the proof. The only explanation I can think of that would say why the grandpa knew before the dispatch call was made is maybe because the son or the grandson called grandpa, got the number for Cito, and then they called Cito. You see what I'm saying? That's still possible. You think that he knew that number by heart? Maybe he didn't even have it in his phone. So he called grandpa. Yo, your boat is sinking. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Yo, call this number. I'll send it to you right now or whatever. And then they typed in the number and called. That's a possibility. But the fact that there's, people who are saying, oh, it's now him. I'm like, where's the proof, baby? Show me the proof. With all due respect, just show me the proof. That's it. I mean, because remember, we gotta err on the side of caution. Bart, everybody was like, Bart did it. Huh? Because of a photo of him standing next to a girl that looks nothing like Katie. And then everyone was like, yo, they had a relationship. So this was a love triangle. So that was him in the background choking him out. You could hear it. You could hear him doing it. That's why they said, damn it, Bart. Really? With such lack of passion? Damn it, Bart. Really? That's how you respond when you're watching a friend of yours that you say is your best friend getting choked out by another guy right in front of you? You just say, damn it, Bart. Damn it, Bart. Stop killing him. Golly gee willikers, stop killing Nolan. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. So again, give me proof. Give me more proof. I want to see it for myself. No, Alant, that's what people are saying. That the damn it Bart was basically, their theory is that he was choking out Nolan Wells in the background of that dispatch call. That's not the case at all. And then everyone's like, ooh, cover it up. They're talking about covering up his death. And I'm like, how would those two girls be talking about it in such a nonchalant way if these people actually cared about human life? I just don't see them going, should we cover it up? That it seems so. No, I think that they're talking about things that are going on the boat. That's what I truly think. Okay. Like I said, the jury's still out on what actually happened to Nolan Wells. But I don't think that those kids did whatever. If he lost his life at the hands of anybody, I really don't think it's the kids that left him behind. The worst thing I think that they did was leave the kid behind. That's what I truly think. Worst thing that they did was leave Nolan behind. I need to see more proof of other things, or maybe something sinister did happen right before they left, but I do not think it has anything to do with the dispatch phone call. I know people are going to be mad at me for saying that, but I'm being real. We got to look at it logically. Look at the information. I think what truly happened with those kids, I believe these kids. I believe them. I believe that dispatch call was real. They're really having issues with the car, with the boat, and that Nolan made the decision to stick around with Katie. My questions are still leaning on Katie and all the other people that hung out with Nolan or saw Nolan after his friends left. Something happened right then. Something happened around then. I just don't know if it's his friends that did anything. The dispatch phone call does not show. It is suspicious, but it does not show him losing his life. It does not depict them covering up his death. I don't see that at all. I just don't. Okay? I'm just being real, with all due respect. And I get it that we all have to, I know we all have to ask questions and look at things differently, right? And look at it in as many ways as we can. But I'm being real that, I just don't see it. Not yet. I need more proof. Sorry. I know y'all already coming at me for saying that I don't see it like that. I just don't. But I think that that's why I keep on saying that we need to look at what happened after the friends left and on. Something happened after the friends left. Like, throwing out derogatory terms to me because I have a different view, that's the problem with the world that we live in, okay? That's the problem with the world that we live in, okay? I'm not sitting here saying that racism doesn't exist. I'm not saying crazy stuff like that. All I'm saying is, with the evidence that has been given to us, I'm thinking a little different. And I think that whatever happened to this young man happened after they left. That doesn't change anything and should not garner me getting any type of derogatory terms thrown in my direction, because I still think something happened to this kid. And I still think that someone saw something or someone did something to this kid. I just don't think it's those friends that left him on the island. Have mercy, guys. Have mercy. Have some respect, But moving on, all right? But this is the world that we live in. It's unfortunate because we all got to be a monolith, right? We don't have to, okay? Think independently for yourself. Please and thank you, all right? But just because I don't think that these kids had something to do with his demise does not mean that from 3-something on, nothing happened to him, that he just disappeared on his own. No, I think something happened. And that's the reason why I'm saying we are focusing too much on the kids in the doggone boat. We need to be talking about what happened from 3 until his body washed up on shore. Let's use our brains. Let's look at the evidence and let's look at what's going on. The grandpa knowing about the sea tow could be explained in 2 seconds. Okay, sure, you could side-eye that all day long, but the obsession around that is starting to turn into a waste of time. Just saying. What happened from 3 on? There's reports of him being seen alive and kicking it at 6 p.m. on the island. There's other photos and stuff like that of him in the water around people, reportedly after 3 p.m. What happened? from 3 and on? What's up with Katie? Those are the questions we should be asking. All of those things should be questions we should be asking. We should be obsessing over Katie. We should be obsessing over any other person that crossed his path. And you know for a fact there are people out here that know exactly what happened, and they're going, thank God they haven't seen us yet. Thank God they haven't gone over to this side of the timeline, because let's remember, Nolan had a whole freaking life after his friends left the island. Remember that. Whether it was for 30 minutes, 30 seconds, or 7 hours, he had a whole other life, whole other timeline after his friends left. So where, who, what, when, where, and why? From 3 till his body washed up on shore. Just saying. So, for weeks, investigators have been searching for answers after Wells disappeared during the trip, with his high school friends, okay? And we obviously are still trying to figure out that as well. And again, it has split the room. So many people have been fighting. So many people are it's been a tough one, okay? It's been a tough one. Let's be real. Even people are now starting to look at Javon, right? At Javon, right? His friend Javon. I wouldn't blame him, because he's apparently one of the people that was still on the island after his friends left. After his boat left, Javon was still on that island, if I'm correct. So what happened? Why are we getting more answers? Okay? That's just what I want to know. Let's look over here, too. Now, of course, they, the friends, have hired a big-time, high-powered lawyer that was a defamation lawyer for Trump, and was very successful, for the most part, on the defamation lawsuits that Trump filed against the BBC, CBS, and I forgot the other news outlet, okay? But nonetheless, crazy, right? So, moving on, all right? Hold on. Let me just handle business. So, moving on. It's crazy. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. So, here's something else, okay? And I think it's interesting that they did hire a MAGA lawyer as well. I will say that. I was side-eyeing it. I was like, the hell? Why would you hire him, of all people? But they hired him, right? So Benjamin Crump apparently had some things to say about this as well, okay? So Ben Crump isn't sweating Nolan Wells' friends turning to Trump's lawyer for help. We caught up with the prominent civil rights attorney in New York City, and he says the boy's choice of attorney is just a distraction. Distraction of what? Crump tells us the only thing that matters to him and Nolan's family is getting the truth about what happened. As we previously reported, we already know about all this. But this is allegedly the lawyers that are representing the boys, the friends, okay, Nolan Wells' friends. Both represented Trump in massive defamation lawsuits. And again, we already heard about a list that's coming out, right? A whole list that's coming out after people, right? After content creators and all that. And I'm sure this is all from the boys, going online. And, I'm sure there's some people who are not only making content, but are also attacking these kids as well on their own free time, which is kind of crazy. But these guys have represented Donald Trump in big battles with the media, like the ones against CBS/Paramount. The New York Times is the other one I forgot, and BBC. Okay, but Crump says calling it in such big guns is just noise, and finding out how Nolan passed away is what's really important. So Cox and Pulsick want to know what happened too. And they're going to Horn Island tomorrow to get a look at where Nolan Wells disappeared and where he was found dead. Now, again, they have now teamed up with these guys. I feel like, after thinking about it, I started to think about this even more. And, this is my honest opinion. This is my honest thought. I think that they hired these high-powered attorneys because they want to scare people. That's what I think. I think that they hired these big-time attorneys, because it's their way to get the content creators and those that are attacking them, these kids so viciously. I think that they're turning to them and being like, y'all better shut up, or Trump's lawyer is going to come and get you. That's what I think. I think it's a whole tactic to scare people. All right? Straight up. And Ghost All Day, yes, I already know about the list. Okay? The list is already out. The list does exist. It is real. Okay? I thought it was fake when I first saw it, but I'm hearing in the chat that it is real. Regardless, it is a tactic to get people to shut the hell up. That's it. So getting a high-powered lawyer like these guys that have been successful with defamation, think about that. All these defamation lawsuits that they're thinking about filing against other content creators, what do you think they're trying to do? They're trying to get these particular people to shut the hell up. This is a very, very blatant intimidation tactic. That's what I think. So I don't think it has anything to do with Nolan Wells' parents and Nolan Wells' family. This is literally to make every single content creator out there that has been talking mess out here to start shivering in their booties. That's literally what it is. Let's listen.
His friends hired Donald Trump's lawyer. A distraction. Well, what does that mean in the case, if anything?
We are focused on getting to the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells. That's all that matters to us.
Is this about defamation for those young men?
That's all a distraction.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, sir. Yes. Ciao.
Okay, so did he go to the wrong? Did you notice that? Did he go to the wrong car? Was he going into the wrong car? Take a look at this one more time. One more again.
Friends hired Donald Trump's lawyer. A distraction. Well, what does that mean in the case, if anything?
We are focused on getting to the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells. That's all that matters to us.
Is this about defamation for those young men?
That's all a distraction.
Okay.
Like, word, he was distracted by TMZ. And he was walking and he was getting into the wrong backseat of the wrong car. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? So he was getting into the back seat of the wrong car. But here it is. I get it. You got a camera in your face. You got TMZ right there going, oh, TMZ. And then they're asking a question like this. He's like, yo, it's one big ass distraction. I mean, I don't see it as a distraction. I see it as an intimidation tactic for every content creator out here that's talking mess. Let me just say this. You're allowed to talk about the case. You're allowed to put in your opinions. But if you're out there and you're just slamming these individuals, you're calling them certain names, you know what I mean? You're maybe inciting stuff like trying to get people to go over there and harass docs, etc. What's going to happen? If you're asking the right questions and you're not spreading stupid rumors for the sake of a click or a view, and all the while saying, oh, yep, that's what it is. That's it. That's what it is. Yeah, you're going to get yourself in trouble. Yeah, he was about to kidnap his own self. Oh, damn. When he walked in, when he was trying to get into the wrong car, he was about, man, the driver in that other car was like, damn it, I almost had him. Damn it. But you got to remember, guys, you could talk about the case. We're talking about the case. But you can't be out here just saying like, oh, yeah, they did this. And going crazy on that. It doesn't help the situation. Oh, here's another thing, too. Don't dox them. Don't send them threatening, emails and text messages and whatnot. I mean, those are just some ideas. Those are just some ideas, Stop talking crazy. Stop saying things that are not true. Stop spreading rumors about things that are not accurate at all whatsoever. You're going to ask the questions about those rumors and those things, but you can't just be out here saying, oh, that is what it is for sure. You're going to get yourself in some serious, serious trouble. That's it. That's it. As simple as that. Okay? So I got this one last story I want to share with you guys because, like I said, can't be on for a very long time today. All right? But this is something that just came across my desk right before I went live, so I'm still very brand new to this case. And thank you so much for all the gifts. Thank you, Creep, for sending the gifts, and everybody else who's been sending super chats and super stickers and gifts and all that. That really means the world to me. But there's this case, there's this situation that's coming out of like California, Alaska, California. It's going to make sense here in a little bit. But it all revolves around this situation of this young woman who became a surrogate for a couple. And suddenly, after, she's been growing this baby, after a doctor's visit, they find out that there was like the kid has some sort of heart defect to the point where the family wanted to get a procedure done, if you get what I'm saying. And suddenly the surrogate refused to get this procedure done, meaning termination, okay? We got to use these code words. I know it's very frustrating, but I'm going to say procedure from this point on. They wanted to terminate the situation, their plan, their agreement, this life. All right. And she refuses to actually do that. Even though that this child allegedly had some sort of heart defect and they were planning on letting this happen, or they were planning on doing this termination to make sure that they don't have to deal with early, as soon as the baby's born, they go through a lot of infant surgeries and all that. They didn't want to go through all that. They wanted to make sure that this kid would not have to go through that, right? So the surrogate has refused to actually get this procedure done. And now it's become quite a conversation. So we got to take a look at this. This is very, very interesting. I can't go into too much depth into this because, time is of the essence today. Like I said, not a super long show, but I did want to share some of this with you guys because this is just absolutely crazy. Okay, just to be completely real. So a surrogate mother is fighting tooth and nail to save the life of the baby she's carrying amid relentless pressure from his biological parents who pushed to get this procedure done, okay, after he was diagnosed with a heart condition, a lawsuit claims. So McKenna West, she's an Alaskan nurse, a single mom of two, signed to become a surrogate with worldwide surrogacy specialists in September of 2025 to make ends meet. Yeah, I actually know a few people who have done surrogacy. I mean, if it's one of those options that you own, one of the few options that families have, I think it can be a really beautiful thing. Now, I know some people have, certain opinions about that, are against surrogacies and all that, but at the same time, I think that it is a beautiful thing, to allow, to help another family bring a child into the world. But let's move on. So when she underwent an anatomy scan on her 20th week of pregnancy, oh my gosh, sorry guys, in April of 2026, Baby Gabriel was diagnosed with hypoplastic left heart syndrome, a severe but treatable heart condition per lawsuit. This right here is McKenna, all right, the surrogate mother, all right? So baby Gabriel's biological parents referred to in court papers as only A, B, and C, D, demanded West do this procedure in accordance with the, I'll just say it once, the abortion on demand clause in their surrogacy agreement, according to court docs. So doctors in Alaska refused to perform the actual procedure, a 2-day-long, highly intensive and risky late-term procedure. So the biological parents demanded West travel to Seattle per court documents. West already bonded with, she claims, she already bonded with the unborn child, was grief-stricken at this actual prospect. She was appalled at the idea that doctors would inject baby Gabriel with a solution that will stop his heart, and then he'll be literally ripped apart and dismembered as he's taken from her uterus. Wow. When his condition is treatable, according to this lawsuit. So, every life matters. No woman should be forced to end the life of the baby she's carrying, including me. Baby Gabriel should receive a chance at life. This is what she said to the Post in a statement. Newborns diagnosed with HLHS require surgery almost immediately after birth in order to survive past their first week. Babies who are operated on have a 75% chance of making it to 5 years old. And those who make it to their first birthday have a 90% chance of making it to 18 years old, according to New York Presbyterian Hospital. So the Alaskan nurse decided she couldn't go through with the procedure and offered to take full responsibility of baby Gabriel, absolving the biological parents of all financial and custodial responsibilities. Her offer was rejected, and they threatened to sue her for $250,000, a sum that would bankrupt her, the lawsuit claimed. She fled to Texas in hope of giving birth at a hospital that specializes in pediatric cardiac cases. A complex legal battle proceeded in both Alaskan Superior Court and the California 2nd District Court of Appeal, as the biological parents now attempt to compel West to give birth in their home state of California. They are also fighting to attain parental rights over baby Gabriel, who is due on September 3rd. That ain't far from now, guys. So she about to give birth any week now, basically. However, West suspects that this is a ploy by the biological parents to terminate Gabriel by refusing to have doctors perform the life-saving surgery on him. Wow. So she's worried that she's going to give birth. They're like, okay, fine. You don't have to do all that stuff. We were asking you to terminate. You don't want to do it. That's fine. Hold up. All we're asking for you to do is give birth in our state. Okay? Come to us. We'll take care of you. Everything's going to be Gucci. And she's like, no, I don't want it. I don't want that to happen because I don't trust what you're going to do after the baby is born. Because after he's born, you can literally say, nope, don't do the surgery. It's too much of a risk. And that baby could die, right? West has offered to renounce any parental rights over baby Gabriel as long as the biological parents vow to get him the surgery, and they have refused. Diggity damn. So they have also discussed palliative care for the child with doctors, according to court documents. However, A, B, C, D, that's interesting. A, B, C, D. Anyway, however, A, B, and C, D contend that West is distorting reality and is only after their money, according to court documents. Unfortunately, there's no way to know if their child will be eligible for the surgeries he needs because Wes refuses to submit to any prenatal tests, okay, that checks for genetic disorders because she is afraid she will not get paid for it. The complaint reads. Ay. That is pretty interesting. As some would say, this is thicker than a Snicker. But interesting. You got a woman who contractually, by the way, for those who don't know, contractually, she signed a contract that literally said that there is a termination clause. So if the family was the parents, the biological parents were to say, hey, we are looking to, you know what I mean, terminate, she would have to. That's contractually, she contractually signed that, okay? And that's in one of the clauses. If she refuses, this turns into a whole problem, right? She didn't like this idea. So, of course, she's definitely feeling some type of way about this. So what say you guys on this? You know, do you think that, do you blame her? I don't blame her. What are your thoughts on this? Because again, there's a lot of people. This has been very polarizing. Some people are like, yo, this is their contractual agreement. If they don't want to bring a child into the world that has some sort of heart defect, because they're worried about putting this child through surgeries right when it comes out of the womb, and their their possibility of survival is varying depending on how the child is when they are born, they should be able to make that choice if they want to, right? But then some are like, it's a life, save it, right? Do what you can to save it. It is very interesting. And, shout out to Beautiful Messy Ball. I don't know if she's listening or watching the show, but she's the one who kind of brought this information to me. And I was just like, what is this? This is crazy stuff. And again, like I said, do you save the baby? Do you not save the baby? Do you abide by the contractual agreement that you've made with the actual parents, the biological parents? Or do you say, no, I will raise this child on my own, right? And I think that's the other thing. The concern is if they were to be like, yeah, okay, fine, take care of the child on your own. Do your thing, right? That, years later, she could literally turn to them and be like, I want money, right? She could force them to give them more money, you know what I mean? Or sue them for whatever, right? So I can see varying degrees, right? I can see multiple angles in this situation. I'm not saying whether or not one side is right and the other side is wrong. I'm just pointing out the sides, right? Then, of course, yes, Painted Desert just said a contract is a contract. Yeah, it is. It really, really is. But there's other people that will sit there and say, F the contract, this is still a life. Because there's pro-lifers out there. I know that there's a lot of pro-choicers out there too, but there are pro-lifers out there big time that'll sit there and go, listen, this is still life. We shouldn't be terminating solely because of this heart defect. We should try to give this child the life, give it its fighting chance, right? I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but I know that there's a lot of people that are going to stand on that side. There is a little bit here that I want to share.
I have not heard a story like this.
I will say this. I'm not a fan of this woman. Let me just say this abundantly clear. All right. I want to make that abundantly clear. I'm not a fan of Megyn Kelly, like freaking at all. All right. But she's one of the only few people that have actually interviewed McKenna. And so we're going to take a listen to a little bit of this. Like I said, I got to wrap up the show here shortly, but I do want to share this with y'all. Allie, the Great, are you going to be covering the Courtney Clenny plea deal hearing tomorrow? Yes, because it looks like tomorrow, just so you know, it looks like for over the next couple days that it will be, the Tupac murder trial is actually happening, right? So Ali, yes, I will be covering that for sure. Are you out your mind? I'm not missing that. I ain't missing that at all, bro. So I am going to be watching that. We're going to watch that because I really want to know what kind of plea deal she got. Because that woman should be locked away. She didn't. No, that was not self-defense. She took that man's life, period. But moving on, okay? So we will be talking about that because we are doing the the next couple of weeks is all going to be the Tupac murder trial, all Keefe D and everything. So we will be talking about a bunch of different things tomorrow because tomorrow jury selection starts. That's the boring stuff. And we don't know how long jury selection is going to be. It may be a whole week. It may be just a few days. But then we'll be watching that trial. Okay. So yeah, the whole watch party thing starts tomorrow for that. Okay. Just so you know. Now, Courtney Clenny, we will be there. We will be watching. She going to get what she deserves. That's what I mean. I don't think she's getting what she deserves, but she going to get it. She going to be locked up. For how long? I don't know. What is the plea deal, right? So, again, Tupac Shakur starting all next week. And again, we are going to be jumping down a timeline. We're going to be talking about what happened to Tupac, his last few days or the last few moments, last few hours on Earth, and everything. Interviews that Keefe D had, all the BS that he said. And now he's sitting there going, "Oh, it's free speech. That wasn't a confession. That was free speech." No, you said you did it. Shut the hell up. Okay? So we still have all that. We're going to be talking about a bunch of things and getting ourselves nicely primed and ready for that trial. Okay? So we're going to be, yes, all eyes on Tupac's murder trial starting tomorrow. Okay, local trees. I see what you did. I see what you did there. I see what you did, bro. Okay? So going to be all eyes on that mug. Okay? So get ready. All right? But I just want to play a little bit of this because I do think that this is a very interesting case. It's starting to make its way a little bit out here in these streets. It's something that, we got to talk about. And like I said, I got questions. Okay? Yeah. So let's take a look. Take a listen.
I have to say, did you know this couple when you agreed to become a surrogate for them?
No, we met through an agency, surrogacy agency.
Okay. And as I understand it, you did sign a document saying that if the parents wanted at some point to abort the pregnancy, they could. Is that right?
Yeah, going into this, we had talked about it when we first met. And I asked them kind of their views on termination. And it was a reassuring conversation that really they wanted a baby. They weren't exactly sure what decision they would make if something came up, but they ultimately just wanted to be parents. And so I felt confident moving forward with them that termination would not be their first choice.
Okay, hold on. Time out. With all due respect, isn't that, isn't that, it was still in the contract though. Listen, I'm not here saying, oh, terminations need to happen and blah, 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 but I'm just saying that was in the contract. She can't, so with all due respect, I'm not sitting here saying that she's going and saying, oh, I'm being fooled. No. And I'm sure she was still getting paid for whatever she did so far, how far along she became with baby Gabriel. But what I'm trying to say is you can't just act like you're gobsmacked because it was already in the contract. And just because they said, yeah, we are not interested in you looking at termination as the first option, it looks like they did look at the other options too. You see what I'm saying? It looks like they, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, what can we do to help baby Gabriel survive? Oh, you mean to tell me that you have to do he has to do a surgery as soon as he gets out the womb? Immediately? Oh, no. Oh, no. You see what I'm saying? So, with all due respect, I'm not sitting here saying that she's wrong for what she's doing and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is you can't act like you're surprised about something that you knew was on the contract in the first place. And it looks like the parents did. The biological parents were looking at other options, and those other options were still very touch and go. And that's if the child survives, right? So I don't know. Because I already know that there's people who are going to be pro-life instantly and say, oh, no, no, no. She's, the baby it's still a baby. It's a life. We need to save it. And I understand that part. I do. But if this is a contractually agreed thing between three people, then you got to look at that contract. You know what I'm saying? I mean, are the parents in the wrong? I don't know. But if it's in the contract, do you blame them for using? You shouldn't be shook and shocked if it's in the contract. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say because, like I said, I want baby Gabriel to live, and I want baby Gabriel to live his life. But at the same time, I'm talking legal stuff. We're talking about things that are written in black and white, and they all three signed and agreed upon. So I don't know. That it's very interesting. And then she said, the other part is she said she's willing to take full custody over the child. Like, no worries, no need to worry anymore. I will take care of the child. It's on me now. And the parents still said, no, we don't want this baby, which is like, we don't want this baby born. Like, and yeah, this is very interesting. I'm only going to play a little bit of this, and I might come back to this tomorrow and talk with you guys about this more later if we have time.
Okay, so the contract said they had the right to do it, but you, based on your conversations, didn't foresee them actually doing it. And then the baby, was it a 20-week amniocentesis? Is that what happened?
There was no amniocentesis. It was an ultrasound that the cardiac defect was identified a couple days after 20 weeks.
So then they said they wanted to abort their child, but you are pro-life. And so what did that bring up for you?
It brought up a lot of fear. And I just didn't know what to do. I felt very trapped due to this contract and felt like I had no voice. But I knew in my soul and my heart that I wanted to protect this little boy. And thankfully, my brother it was put on his heart to call me and just speak hope and courage into me. And he and his wife even offered to adopt this baby if it meant me not having to go through this late-term abortion.
Wow. Right, because at this point, the baby's almost 5 months in utero, and this is, you start to feel the baby moving. It's like, this is a very special time for a mother,
Yeah.
and I can't imagine what it would be like to be told that you must abort the baby, like that you must.
Yeah.
So you didn't, which is extraordinary. That must have taken a lot of prayers and courage on your part. And now it's devolved into a legal battle. So let me bring in Lincoln at this point, your lawyer. So Lincoln, was the legal battle, did the parents try to force the abortion? Has a court ruled on that? Because McKenna did not abort the baby. She is pregnant right now.
No, they didn't try to force an abortion in court. What really happened was that after McKenna had resisted and they'd put on essentially a pressure campaign to force her to abort, they even enlisted her own prior counsel to serve her with a demand of $250,000 with a process server in the middle of the night. And when they were unsuccessful in doing that, what they did was they pivoted to California, and they filed a lawsuit in California, even though the contract requires any litigation in Alaska where McKenna lives. They said, we're filing suit in California and we want an expedited judgment of parentage. And our basic understanding is that what they want to do is, if they're declared the parents, and unfortunately the California court did declare them to be the parents, then they can make the decision about medical care, and they can decide when this baby's born that they won't give him any care, and he'll be dead in a matter of days without it. McKenna is unequivocally willing to fight for his life, though.
For the first time since...
That is pretty insane. I will say that. That is pretty insane that you have... Wow. Like, you have somebody that's out there, like they're like, okay, you could go ahead and bring this child into the world, and then we're not going to do anything. You know what I mean? You realize how crazy that is, right? So you got a girl that, this surrogate that's like, yo, I want this kid to have a chance. I want this kid to, have a life, or at least get a shot at having a life. And I will take the child. I will take full responsibility of the child. I'll be the parent. I will take the responsibility, no problem. And the parents are like, no, we don't want this. Like, literally, they're saying, we don't want this child. Straight up. That's wild. Even after the fact, even her going, okay, because they're like, we don't want this child, because we don't want this child to go through pain. We don't want this child to have any pain right off the bat. And we don't know if this child's going to actually survive the first surgery. And God knows how many other surgeries that this child might have in the future when it is brought into the world. And she says, no, I don't want that to happen. I don't want this child to just survive. I want it to be able to thrive and be happy. And if you don't want this child, that's fine. I will bring it full term, and I will bear it. I will give birth to it, and I will take care of it myself. And they're like, no. According to her and her lawyer, no. We don't want you bringing this child in at all. Like, at all. So much that she said, yeah, I'm going to Texas, and I'm going to give birth to the child over there, because there's a good facility over there that can take care of the surgery for his heart, so that he has a fighting chance. They're like, no. Come over to California. We need you in California. Because they want her to give birth to the child, and then they do nothing to the child. So basically, they want this child to be born, and then that child to perish after it's born. Because they don't want that child to undergo any type of surgery of any kind. You know what's really frustrating about this? And again, I get it. There's the contract and all that. But she still is sitting there going like, no, I want to give birth to this child. I want this child to have an opportunity to live life. And even after that, they're still going, no, we don't want this child on this planet at all. That is some crazy stuff. And what's really frustrating to me is that, and don't get me wrong, I get every parent wants their children to be perfect. But here's the thing. You got to remember there's plenty of people that are freezing their eggs, or they're doing all kinds of different things where they're getting a whole bunch of eggs. They're trying to fertilize as many of those eggs as they can. Sometimes they're like, I only want a boy, or I only want a girl. So all those eggs, those other eggs that get fertilized as girls or boys, are pushed off to the side, right? And whatever sex or gender that you're trying to get, you get that gender, right? And then it gets implanted into somebody, or into your wife, or into your partner, or into a surrogate, and then you hope that baby grows into a healthy baby, right? And don't get me wrong, we all want, those of us that are parents out there in the world and all that, we all want healthy babies. I get it. But what would they have done? I mean, I guess they would have terminated. I guess that's just I'll answer the question right now. They probably would have terminated if this baby was in in the wife of this heterosexual biological couple, okay? The biological parents were a heterosexual couple, okay? And I get that there's the desire to have your children to be perfect, but not every child has that opportunity. Sometimes there are defects. Sometimes there are situations that happen. It is what it is, and you do the best as you can to live life or move forward and love that child with every fiber of your being, as if the child was, with 10 fingers and 10 toes. Sometimes the kids come out with 8 toes and 7 fingers. It happens, right? But you still love the child the same. You still try to give that child a fighting chance. And here's the thing. the person that is this surrogate that's actually growing this baby inside of her, yes, there was the termination clause. She should have abided by that, but she still said no. So then for me, I'm like, okay, if she's saying no suddenly, even though it's in the contract, you have no other choice but to try to give this kid a fighting chance. That's it. You try to give that kid the best fighting chance you bloody can. You can't just sit there and go, okay, no, come to California, so when you give birth to the baby, it perishes after it's born. We won't do anything to it. We'll just let the baby fade away. That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay? I get the surrogate is going against the thing and all that, and I can see how ones can say that's crazy because there was a contractual agreement. But what's even more diabolical, what's even more insane is that even after she went against their wishes, they're going, no, just come back over here. No. It's fine. Just give birth to him, and then we won't do anything. That's crazy. This whole thing is crazy, but that part right there is crazy. But what say you guys? What are your thoughts on that? Okay, what are your thoughts on that? I think it's just nuts. It's a very, very bad situation. There's a series of very unfortunate events, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Okay, should she have even done that? Should she have abided by the contractual agreement? Is she just making a mountain out of a molehill? Or do you think that she's doing the right thing? Do you think the parents are even more diabolical for what they're trying to do even after the fact? What are your thoughts? Definitely comment down below. It's definitely causing quite a stir in the conversations out here in the internet streets. But what say you guys? Let me know your thoughts. But again, let me just say this really quick. Okay. First off, go over to my shorts channel if you can. Man, I'd love to try to get to 500 subscribers. That would be awesome over there. If everyone went over there, we would surpass 500 subscribers on this new channel. I have a new clips channel or a new shorts channel, which will only be nothing but shorts from these live shows. So please go over there, support the channel if you can. It's free to just hit the subscribe button. So if you can, it's pinned to the bottom of the chat right now as we speak. So go, please hit that subscribe button over there. That'd be greatly appreciated. A slew of stuff is going to be coming out starting tomorrow, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be crazy content. Yeah, thought-provoking stuff, scary stuff, funny stuff, everything. Blowouts, okay, and then some. So please go and check that out. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you can. That'd be awesome. All right. And then, of course, in a couple of hours, I will be live hanging out with some St. Louis Cardinal players and playing some golf or trying to play some golf. In fact, I don't really know what the event is going to be like, but we're going to be there. We're going to have a good time. And maybe we're doing a driving competition, hitting golf balls and seeing how far we can hit a golf ball. I don't golf, so this will be fun regardless. Okay. Yeah, it's time for everyone to get a blowout. I recommend everyone get a blowout. You know what I'm saying? Get a really good, solid, sloppy blowout. Okay. I wish that for everybody on this wonderful, lazy Sunday. So be sure to tune in a couple hours. We'll be live, some IRL, hanging out, running into some celebrities, running into some friends, and having a great time. So make sure you do that. That is the show, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, being a part of the conversation. Please do me a favor before we head out. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do it, do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, I'm on all of them. So make sure you hit that follow button. Subscribe right here. Subscribe right here to my YouTube channel, right here. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips, and check out my new one, Pascal Shorts. Please go and subscribe right now. That would be amazing. Subscribe to all of them. Hit the notification bell on all channels so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon, which is going across the screen right now as we speak. Become a member or a patron over there. Okay? Check out PascalMerch.com as well. We got some really great stuff, especially for the fall that's coming up and winter time. Go check it out. Anyway, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. Be safe out there. We'll be talking here in just a few hours. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show.